Hey y'all, so today we are doing the research presentation. When I was asked to research a topic that I'm interested in, of course, agricultural education was at the top of my list. So I found this study back from 2001. Yes, it's older, but it's still a relevant situation and discussion. So as you can see, this was made by Cornell University teachers. The point of it was using agricultural education as a context to teach life skills. So the introduction for this is due to state standards, testing, graduation requirements, agriculture educators must be prepared and ready to express how their programs, so how their FFA chapters, how their schoolwork and everything can meet those established requirements to prepare youth for the future, so to be future citizens and even members of the workforce. So this was expressed in specifically two different ways to achieve the goals. Of course, one was to meet the traditional program goals while reinforcing those workplace skills, and two, reinforcement of the science and math skills. So whether you're familiar with AGR or not, this is the three-ring model that agriculture education follows. So the basic core is this intracurricular components. You have your classroom laboratory, your experiential learning through supervised agriculture experiences, and then your leadership activities with like FFA, organization. So your SAEs, those supervised agriculture experiences, bridge the gap between the classroom and work by providing opportunities for students to apply what they've learned in the classroom and then transfer those knowledge and skills to a real-world situation. And then your FFA, or those leadership activities, provide opportunities for students to learn about teamwork, public speaking, and debating, writing for communication of ideas, and other skills identified as important in working for the future and being a productive member of society. So the purpose of the study was to investigate these perspectives of agriculture education as that vehicle for instruction to transfer those skills. So the specific research looked at what do individuals believe are the differences between vocational agriculture education and agri-science. And then also the perceived relationship between agriculture education curriculum to that transferability of those skills, both academic and workplace. So to do this study, back in, like I said, it's older, so the study was conducted in 1999 and not published till 2001. But back at the 1999 National FFA Convention, of course, in Louisville, Kentucky, they conducted 20 interviews. The participants included high school students, college and university staff, faculty, industry representatives, and high school administrators. So the specific interview site was selected based on access to a national sample of individuals involved in agricultural education. The respondents were selected using maximum variation techniques to ensure a wide range in experience, geographical distribution, and job responsibilities. So these 20 individuals were asked open-ended questions, and then their answers were transcribed and data was sorted into domains and categories to find the most common topics, most common answers all said. So I actually have 3 questions they focus on. Number 1 is, what is your current opinion as to the differences between vocational agriculture, agricultural education, and agri-science? Number 2 was, what types of changes need to be implemented to teacher education programs? And then number 3 was, do you believe that agricultural education promotes transferability of content and skills? So after all these questions and they transcribed the data, few different results were found, commonalities in their answers. And as a current individual in the agricultural education field, I agree with all of these because I face it every day. I faced it going through school in high school, through my undergrad, and while it's not an issue right now in my graduate school, I'm doing a research project over it because it's such a relevant topic today. So you see on the screen, results included, people have misconceptions about agricultural education. And it's true. You meet people who aren't familiar with it, who've never been on a farm or anything agriculture related. They don't realize the expansion importance of the agricultural industry. If you say agriculture, they immediately think farming or cows or any animal livestock, but it's so much more. Like the next bullet, individuals outside the field lack understanding for the valuable skills incorporated in the program. I know I'll face this too, being a new teacher, because like I said, in ag education, you have FFA, an intracurricular part of class. It being intra, meaning part of the curriculum, I'm there to teach it, I'm there to encourage kids to join, to find themselves for premier leadership, personal growth, career success, just growth in themselves. And yeah, Ag Ed does provide a unique learning experience. What other class are you going to go to where you get to go in forestry field, plant trees, where you go in a greenhouse and transplant ferns, or go in the ag mechanic shop and you get to woodwork, you get to weld, wire, plumbing, small engine, or if you're a school with livestock, you get to go experience livestock industry, so pigs, cows, sheep, goats, all those different things. Classroom themes like teamwork are easily transferred to life applications, so that teamwork comes from the National FFA, those leadership activities. You want those communication skills, teamwork skills. You want to have that knowledge to carry with you, because while you may be a team in high school in your FFA chapter, you will become a team with whoever you work for in the future. So like I have a team now. I have a co-teacher at the high school with me, and then I also have a co-teacher at the middle school, where we all have to join together to promote FFA in our local chapters. Students are prepared for higher education through that transfer of academic content to other disciplines. So agriculture is a great way for those inter-instructional combined lessons, because you learn scientific topics, math, English language arts, like communications. It's such a wide scope that people come to an ag class and they expect to sit there and learn about farming or trees or plants or animals. They don't get the whole picture that we as agriculture educators try to branch out and show everybody. Right. So our last thing is these conclusions. This study resulted in qualitative data. So you see my little notice at the top, qualitative data cannot be generalized to any people beyond those interviewed. So it is really up to readers to determine if these findings and conclusions are applicable to their respective situations. So this study was conducted by agriculture educators. So I myself agree with these results, but people who aren't familiar with this industry may not. So there are three main conclusions. One, agriculture education is a viable curriculum alternative for instruction and experiences leading to transfer of workplace skills. So really, agriculture education incorporates a combination of diverse teaching methodologies. So like main thing is hands-on learning. Going into the shop, the greenhouse, the forestry plot, the livestock barn, anything. And also that technical content of science, business, marketing, economics. It's that intracurricular learning and leadership development. That whole three-ring model must be balanced for a great classroom experience for students. You cannot be an agriculture educator and focus solely on like just FFA stuff. You are also a teacher, so you have to balance it out with your classroom and laboratory experiences and even your supervised agriculture experiences, SAEs. So then number 2 is AGED provides students with those transferable academic skills to prepare them to achieve in other courses in higher education. So you come to AG, like I hope to create a very encouraging environment for students. Usually, I know from my past experiences, this was found in my AG classrooms where students are able to engage and be able to foster that interest to promote their further education. That's what happened to me. I knew I liked AG going into high school because of my background, but getting so involved with my FFA chapter, I realized I wanted to do that as my career. I wanted to be an agriculture educator and teach these students about such an amazing and important industry and give students really the opportunities I had in high school with competitions, trips, networking, meeting all these people from around the United States. And then number 3, all participants agreed that vocational agriculture has negative impacts on the public interest of programs. So going back to the age of this study, the word vocational is not really thrown around as much anymore. It's just primarily agricultural education. But much of that disagreement is due to the lack of understanding of the appropriate methods and techniques of teaching that goes into agriculture. So it's that science that sometimes people leave the experiential learning, those SAEs, and leadership components of the program together. You have to keep them together to form a complete program to understand the basis of agriculture education and why us agriculture educators push students, or really I should say encourage these students strongly to join the National FFA organization and go on these trips and compete in these events to grow themselves. So that was the research. Like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. Agricultural education is something I really believe in, that I love. Obviously, me majoring in it, both undergrad and graduate school, and of course, making it my career. So I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe I already told you something you already know. Thanks so much.